Ladies and gentlemen, I'm AnzaK, and with me today, forming the Red Hot Underdogs, is the ever incredible, long contained, often imitated, never duplicated. Put your hands together for Drewy.
Hey buddy, hey everybody. Listen, welcome to the podcast that always loves the colour blue.
Ugh.
Listen, I have been
I got
completely loving this week. It's all about the Blues. I've just loved this week. Well done, New South Wales, for the single greatest comeback in Origin history.
Well done, Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. You can celebrate that if you're a Maroons supporter. So that's what it seems to be, the general gist. I think we'll start with Origin, and we might be on Origin for a little while. I'll try not to be, but gee, there's a lot to come out of it this week.
Yeah, well, 20-0 down after, was it 30 minutes or so?
20-0 down after 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
So,
yeah,
a general breakdown of it. For Queensland, Toya got the first try in the 9th minute, Flegler in the 13th minute, Tabuai for Doe in the 16th minute, and in the 20th minute, Sam Walker kicked a penalty goal. He kicked 4 from 4 all up. At 20 minutes down, 20-0, they were levelling the clock. I thought, gee, this could be anything. Game 1 is in the can. It's all Queensland, and that's okay. Little did we know New South Wales would find that legendary blue spirit.
Oh, God.
Queensland always talk about spirit, but this was amazing spirit. Not being biased, it just was. You can't deny it, coming back from the greatest comeback of all time. I know they're going to say 13 players to 12. I get all that. We'll get to that later on. Just a quick breakdown of the New South Wales score sheet. So at 20-0 down, then we had Hudson Young scoring the 26th minute. And obviously there was the send-off in the 57th minute from Ponga for the Queenslanders. Then after that, the Blues floodgates opened, and we only just got there in the nick of time because it wasn't a particularly good performance by the Blues, I will say that. It became Ethan Strange scored a try in the 62nd minute, Nathan Cleary in the 71st minute, and James Tedesco for that all-time absolutely brilliant try that should be played over and over again in the 78th minute to seal the match.
Could it have been better? Like, just saying from a rugby league point of view, like, it's, you know, could that match have been better?
No,
No.
I don't think the ending could have. I'll preface
I'm
this.
just saying, from a rugby league, getting people to rugby league, could it have been better?
Oh, from that standard, absolutely no.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yep.
Now, mate, it was the best outcome for rugby league in general. You are 100% correct.
Yep.
As far as eyeballs, as far as talking about the game, as far as everything is concerned.
Yep.
The one thing I will say, though, is that I think for 60 minutes, it was a bit of a bludger of a game. Not because Queensland were ahead, I give them their due credit. They were by far the better side. Hands down, no arguments there. I only say that from a standpoint that from the 26th minute to the 57-minute mark where Kalyn Ponga was sent off, from the 26th minute to the 57th minute, when Kalyn Ponga was sent off, there was a holding pattern there where nobody scored any points. And that doesn't always mean it's a bad game, but it sort of sunk into a bit of a lull for that period of time. And then obviously the last 23 minutes were just amazing, not just because New South Wales won, but because of the drama of it.
Yeah, it was full of drama, and New South Wales didn't win. Rugby League won. That's who won.
Rugby League did win. I'll also say this. Just that last 23 minutes, it was just the action and the theatre and the controversy around it. It just completely lit up the game.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of Queenslanders have been going, oh, well, you only just won, and, you know, we were the better side, and it would have been humiliating if you hadn't have won. Could have, should have, would have. At the end of the day, the score was 22-20. I just want to talk about the send-off. A lot of controversy. I actually think it was the right decision. I'm interested in your thoughts.
Well, I guess this is a podcast. I've got to have an opinion, and I say pass.
Wow, you're sitting on the fence. Now, I've got my own opinion of why. Not because I'm wearing a Blues jersey, or shirt, as it were.
Yeah.
It's because Kalyn Ponga went in with his shoulder, he went in with his arm cocked, and there was absolutely no attempt to wrap his arms around Totu Kula. Zero. Now, I know that part of the narrative was, oh, it was head on head. No. Predominantly shoulder, and there was a bit of head contact as well. There was both. From my end, I thought it was predominantly shoulder, but there was both. And regardless if you want to use the head analogy, well, guess what? Because there were both, that just adds to the recklessness of the actual shoulder charge. Shoulder charges are illegal. Again, no attempt to wrap your arms around the player. And I just also think that Kalyn Ponga got off light. He got a $6,000 fine. He's able to play the next game. And Totu Kula, meanwhile, gets a concussion and misses 2 games for the Manly Sea Eagles.
Yeah. So, who lost? Manly.
Yeah, Manly lost, but I mean, only Manly supporters give a shit about that.
Olakau'atu out as well?
No, he was just taking a rest.
Okay.
So he's just taking a rest for this week. Well done to the Cronulla Sharks. But getting onto the Origin, I just thought that there was a lot of crying and belly aching from the Queensland supporters in certain comment sections. Mate, these things happen. New South Wales had to deal with this 2 years ago, and we acknowledge that Joseph Suaalii deserved to be sent off, and it got sent off. You win some, you lose some. I just say stop crying, because I kind of feel that Queensland supporters always either need praise or they need a cuddle if things don't go their way, and it becomes extremely emotionally exhausting.
So is the next one in Melbourne? Is that right?
I believe the next one is in Melbourne.
Yep.
And for the record, yes, Queensland were the better side. Do I think New South Wales would have won had the send-off not happened? Absolutely not. Another thing that might get a few people riled up is the fact that I was bagging out Ashley Klein last podcast. Yeah. I actually thought he had a very good game. Now, not just because New South Wales won, he put the whistle away.
You think so?
And I think, there weren't a lot of penalties.
It was a bit orchestrated. He coerced a bit of a, as you just said, a Rugby League 1 stand-up grand final finish.
Yeah. Now, I predicted this last podcast. You will remember.
I did say, and then it happened, and now you're saying it didn't happen.
No. Well, because I actually think that in this occasion, he went by the right processes. I feel he let the game unfold of its own momentum. And I do feel that when Kalyn Ponga came across with a horrendously reckless shoulder charge with absolutely no attempt at a tackle and knocked out Totu Kula, who's gone for 2 games, he then made the right decision. I think he did everything correct. Just because somebody hasn't put in good performances from the past doesn't mean they can't put in good performances in the future. It's not a one size fits all. So I actually thought that he did a good job, and I'm backed up by saying that I'm not a big fan of his, and I wasn't a big fan of his taking this game. And why am I backing that up by now saying I thought he did a good job? Because no one else was complaining about Ashley Klein leading into the Origin. I was, but I also
They are
think that it's
now. You see,
not a one-size-fits-all scenario either.
in the Queensland papers, it's all over how dodgy he is. So,
Yeah, yeah,
Courier
yeah.
Mail or whatever it is. So, you're
Yeah, I mean,
not complaining because they won.
yeah. Well, the other thing that people are missing out on is that everyone seems to be belly aching so hard over the fact that the ref ruined the game and ruined the spectacle and the grandstand finish, and New South Wales wouldn't have won if it wasn't for Ashley Klein. How about giving a bit of accountability to Kalyn Ponga?
Mm.
Honestly, with 23 minutes to go, the game is well in control. New South Wales don't even look like coming back, not within an absolute bull's roar. Why on earth would you even put yourself in the frame to be sent off, let alone 10 minutes? A lot of people think it should have been 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
If you go by that rationale, he didn't even need to put himself in the frame to get 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They were that far ahead. Like, if I was a Queensland supporter, I'd be less on Ashley Klein and I'd be more like on Kalyn Ponga. Why on earth would you do that at that particular time of the game?
Yeah, it was silly, and definitely it was, as you said in that last episode, orchestrated a bit for the grandstand finish by referee Klein, definitely. And I was kind of watching it, and it was 20-0 down. I was like, okay, let's see Klein work his magic for a Blues comeback. And it was like I predicted something, and I was just watching it happen. You know,
Well,
I,
for
I
the
was like watching a movie that I've seen before. That's what I was
and
like watching. I
and,
knew
and people
I knew I knew they'd lose. I knew Queensland would lose because of your mate Ashley Klein. That's how what
well, now people aren't going to like this. For the record, yes, I believe he's done that countless times in the past.
yeah.
I don't think he did that this time. I think he did every step correct. And New South Wales won because Kalyn Ponga just did a bloody stupid thing. And the salty Queenslanders can't come to grips with that. And I'm not absolving Ashley Klein. He's done it plenty of times in the past. But this time I actually think, ironically enough, he had a fantastic game as referee.
No,
That said, I wouldn't want him to be reffing countless games in the future. Like, I still don't think he's a particularly good referee, but I think that he did everything by the book this time.
Yeah.
But look, it was good, just the fact that it just stirred so many emotions. And look, Queensland they also have a lot of supporters down here in New South Wales, even people who go for the Blues. There seem to be a lot of Queensland apologists. I've seen comment sections like somebody putting up their hand like they're in an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting going, New South Wales fan here. I thought that Queensland were horrendously ripped off, blah, blah, blah. Or, Ashley Klein, man of the match. I'm like, guys, what the hell are you doing? Queensland would never do that for us. Could you please get your blue balls out of the maroon-coloured handbag for 2 seconds?
Ashley Klein, man of the match.
It's ridiculous. Some Blues supporters I'm ashamed of. It's like Queensland's the hot chick, and you're like the apologetic simp boyfriend that still has your blue balls in their maroon-coloured handbag, and you're like, oh. Blues supporter here. Yes, you were so ripped off. Please love me. Queensland never do that shit. And I hate Queensland, but that's one thing I do respect about them. There you go. And I'm going to wash my mouth out with soap after this for giving Queensland a rap there. But yes, they were the better side. No, they wouldn't have won without the send-off. But yes, I believe the send-off was well-deserved.
Ashley Klein, man of the match. There you go.
From a Queensland. Oh, I also got to say one thing too that I forgot. We actually had somebody in the comments section called Piggy Rig who said that there should have been a wage. And I said in the comment section, yeah,
What's his name?
confirmed.
Piggy Rig?
Piggy Rig, and we replied to him and we said,
Do you know
yes, the
Piggy Rig? I
loser
don't know
will
Piggy
eat.
Rig.
We'll eat some
Right?
chocolate cake with a great big dollop of mayonnaise on it.
Yeah,
Piggy Rig,
Rig.
the Queensland half of this is not fulfilling their part of the deal, but rest assured they will in the next episode or the following episode. AnzaK will be eating that piece of cake.
Okay, sound good. Look, moving on from Origin,
Yeah,
but keeping
yeah,
on the comments, like I
mm,
don't think we've ever had so many um, emotional comments as it wasn't the rugby league and state of origin stuff. It was all Jai Opetaia. Tell me
yes.
why. Tell me why. Whenever we talk about Jai Opetaia, there's I don't want to say keyboard warriors like that's a bad thing because people are saying good stuff and
Yeah.
maybe disagreeing, but why does Jai Opetaia just create so much emotion when people watch when we talk about Jai Opetaia and say stuff? Why? Why?
I've got my own feeling on this. I believe it was because you go outside of the sphere of all of the zoo hype with Nikita and
Yep.
Tim.
Yep.
The real boxing fans in the know, they know he is Australia's #1 premier boxer
Oh,
by an absolute
yeah.
country mile.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
So you get to that point and you go, well, he's not just great domestically.
Yeah.
This guy has held a legitimate world title internationally, and he's internationally a brilliant fighter. He proved that by beating world-renowned Maris Bradis twice,
Yeah.
who was a guy earlier on in his career sent Alexander Usyk to a split decision, and probably one of Usyk's toughest fights of all time. So Jai Opetaia is a legitimate fighter. So that said, cutting to the chase, there is so much emotional
Yeah.
stock put into this man
Yeah.
because people believe in him and they believe he can unify the cruiserweight division. And they feel that he won't just be an Aussie flash in the pan. He
Yeah.
can legitimately do great things. And if he doesn't, at least he can have huge fights at the world level. And it will always, and I mean always, be competitive.
But can he have huge fights at the world level if Zuffa have stuffed up and don't get him any fights?
And this is the thing. We've called it career suicide. I've called it career suicide on more than a couple of occasions. People in the comments get their panties in a knot going, oh, you can't say that. Oh, Turkey Al-Sheikh has the money.
Yeah.
Oh, why did you have a go at his manager, Mick Francis, after all he's done for him and got him to this certain place? My counterpunch to that is, forget about the past. Forget about Turkey's money.
Yeah.
None of it is working right now.
Yeah.
Where is Jai? He is on the sideline with an uncertain future.
Yeah.
Don't worry about where Mick Francis has got him.
Yeah.
Look where he is now. I'll tell you where he's got him. He got him to a good point, but now he's completely bogged in the mud with a four-wheel drive in the middle of the wetlands.
Yeah.
And this is trouble. And it doesn't matter how much money Turkey Al-Sheikh has. He may or may not be able to get him out of this situation.
Yeah.
And there's no certainty he will. And Jai Opetaia could be serving a 3-year sentence in boxing purgatory.
Prison sentence. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no getting away from it.
Yeah.
And we've actually had...
Yeah, it's not just... Well, is it Jai's fault? I don't think so, but ultimately maybe it is.
I absolutely believe it is, and I believe it's also his manager's fault.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the fighter puts their stock and all of their trust in their manager to run their career.
Yeah.
So the manager stuffs up, but guess what? Guess who has the final say? The fighter. And you've gone with Zuffa, and I was a bit cautious when he first signed with Zuffa because Dana White came in like the big dick on campus going, we're Zuffa, we don't need to deal with the sanctioning bodies, we're taking over boxing, blah, 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 blah. And then I've heard that Joe Opetaia signed with Zuffa, and I'm like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
this isn't good.
No.
I said, Dana White's pissed off the sanctioning bodies by his big verbal spray.
No.
They're not just going to roll over and take kindly to it. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe the sanctioning bodies have backflipped. Maybe Dana White's backflipped. Maybe they've sat down and had a coffee and had a bit of a kumbaya session, and everything's good to go.
Money under the table, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
But not.
But it wasn't. And you know what? This is the situation we're in. And I honestly think that Jai was sold a false dream.
Yeah.
Dana White doesn't care about boxers, and I just think that he sold a false dream. Yeah, man, we're going to get you all these fights with the sanctioning bodies and the biggest fights. Despite what I said, I'll talk to them. Yeah, sure, I've talked to them. And just giving him pie-in-the-sky bullshit. And probably Mick Francis, and they've taken Opetaia and Turkey Al-Sheikh at their word without actually sitting down properly and talking to the governing bodies and saying, can we work with you? Can we fight your champions? Can we make the best fights in the future? I don't think any of that was done.
Has Jai ever not fought for this long before?
Oh, look, I think he fought not too long ago. The problem is the quality of opposition in the future. This is the problem. This is why he's been reasonably active. The problem is who he's getting in the future. People are sick and tired of him fighting the Squayos and Sin Caras and whoever else of the world who's on the fringe, good fighters, not great fighters. They feel he's now ready to fight a David Benavidez, which would be humongous.
Yeah.
Ready to fight those caliber of guys, even Michelanian. And look, it doesn't look as though that's going to happen now. Yeah. Big, deep talks with Michelanian to fight for the WBC, and maybe that was going to be his key to getting that fight with Benavidez eventually. Something's happened in the last couple of days. The WBC have stepped in now and said no, they'd like a fight between Kalyn and David Benavidez.
Yeah.
And that is after Kalyn and Opetaia were really deep into talks. So that's thrown a further tailspin into the Opetaia campaign to get his career right up there in lights.
Yeah. So and this is why, because it's emotional for people that love Jai. It's emotional for people that believe in Jai. It's emotional for Jai himself. You've seen his interviews, and and what's he looking at? Like, he could just be looking at 3 years of fighting bricklayers from Tasmania.
Bricklayers from Tasmania in Dana's garage.
Dana's garage.
It's what it feels like, unfortunately. And I mean, that's just the situation. Like, I have heard people go, oh yeah, but you know, his manager Mick Francis and the IBF had a couple of emails before his first fight to win the Zuffa belt with Glanton, so that should all be okay. No, mate, a few emails. I'm sorry. Go to the source. Sit down for at least an hour, nut it out. I don't want to hear this, oh, well, there are a couple of emails here and there that suggested it would be on. Not good enough, particularly if you're a manager. You've got to leave no stone unturned. You've got a fighter's future in your hands. And look, we still haven't received the details of said emails. We haven't seen any visual evidence of them. And we haven't received a timeline of manager Mick Francis and the IBF at that point, or any other sanctioning bodies. We've received no timeline of any of those. And I think that's no coincidence. I just think there's just been a monumental career stuff up.
People are hungry for news. They're hungry for good news, his fans. And the only news that's happening is more nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I just feel so sorry for him because you mentioned earlier and you raised a very good point. You said he trained so hard all the time. He
Yeah.
missed out on people's weddings. He didn't go to his grandma's
Yeah.
funeral. All of this is true.
Like
He had
when he
forewarned
was talking
so
about the
many
belts,
events,
he was talking
important
about the belts
events.
he won and the
Yeah.
sacrifices he's made for those belts. Like how much he has sacrificed for those belts. You felt it when he
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
and now
100%.
what's he got? What's he got? What's he got? He's got nothing now.
Yeah, and that's the whole tragedy of this situation.
It's a
So
tragedy.
he's gone through all of that, and one
Tragedy.
bad decision
Yeah.
has put all of that sacrifice and training straight into the Kim Bricky rubbish tip.
We got to move on from this. But the last
Yeah.
thing, in the last video, I said no limit. He should have gone with no limit, and someone said that no limit wouldn't want him, or didn't
Mm.
want him. How could no limit ever not want him now?
Well, you know what? It would be very wise for No Limit to want him because
Yeah,
Tim and Nikita Zoo are basically all of the eggs in one basket.
yeah,
And
and
they're no
um,
certainty to be superstars on the world stage. Tim is teetering on the edge of extinction. He's got to get past Errol Spence. If he
yeah,
loses that, it's all over.
yeah, yeah,
Nikita, we've seen drop several times. Yes, he's box office to watch,
yeah,
but definitely you wouldn't be putting your hard earned on him going completely far at a world level. You'd just be
yeah,
hoping.
yeah,
Uh, the only problem is, and now I don't know enough about the No Limit setup. On the surface, it sounds great, but what I am going to say here, if he can't get No Limit, or if there is a better promotional outfit, now there are people who are in a better position than me to talk about it, but surely there are promotional outfits all across the world that are best equipped to get a fight with David Benavidez, Noel McKaylian, and the like,
yeah,
all over the place. There are fighters fighting for world titles all over the world, any number of promotional outfits, but unfortunately, he's gone to Zuffa,
yeah.
the poison chalice that he needed to steer clear of.
Mm, mm.
And I know you want to wrap this up, but I can justify it and reconcile it from Jai Opetaia's point of view.
Yeah,
The
go.
situation was he was getting a dud end of the deal by Eddie Hearn, who can be a fantastic promoter if you're in his boys' club.
Mm.
But Jai wasn't. He was getting neglected. God knows why. His amazing talent being left on the sideline.
Why?
Well, but to progress from that point, he hears the name Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh. He thinks huge worldwide name with the UFC, brings in this great big budding bloody boxing outfit organization, and he thinks Turkey Al-Sheikh, money for days, yin and yang, ultimate power. Mate, this sounds like a bloody good wicket. But this is where the manager comes in. This is where Jai comes in to check that the manager's doing the right thing. Do your due diligence. Check all the details on the tin before you sign your life away and agree to it.
Yep. Anyway,
Yeah.
just to finish on it, we've actually got 9 minutes to go. What do
Yeah.
you think happened to Jai Opetaia's career? Okay, just in less than a minute, what do you think will happen?
I'd like to see him try and get out of his contract with Zuffa. I don't know enough legally about that,
Yeah.
how he can go about it and whatnot. It might be ironclad and he might not be able to. I don't know about the details. However, I feel from a personal point of view, I think he's just going to use the next 3 years fighting the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, burn a couple of those prime years, and then hopefully we're going to see him with the big fights in not totally out of his prime, but a little bit of the tail end of his
Yeah.
prime, and just hope for the best that he gets big results
I hope
after his 3 year contract expires. I don't like that narrative, but
Yeah.
if you ask me, that's how I think it will run.
Yeah, because you just feel like if Jai wants to get out of that contract with Zuffa. I don't know, but I'm thinking that would be tighter than an Un's nasty. Like it would be,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, like with that type of money, brings that type of solicitors, and the only way to get out of it is to sit it out, so to speak, and fight bums for the next 3 years.
And you know what? Dana White is an idiot, to be honest, because sure, his UFC thing is huge,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. But
Yeah.
his ego had got so big over that
Yeah.
he took no nuance into the whole negotiating the boxing maze, that
Yeah.
he just came into that like the big dick on campus.
Yeah.
We don't need you sanctioning bodies. We're Zuffa. We're taking over.
Yeah.
Big shot with the bloody invisible apples under his arms,
Yeah.
walking 10 foot tall, and you're like, you are an idiot. For somebody who's meant to be of your business acumen, you would have thought that he would have gone, all right, let's get in there. If I do want to take over, I'll get buddy with the sanctioning bodies. We'll solidify the Zuffa belt as a legitimate belt with the IBF, WBA, WBC, all the other alphabets. And then, once we're buddy with them, sign up some massive names, then we can do the Judas and be the snake under the table and try and take over from there.
Do you know how many people would sign with Zuffa or fight for Zuffa right now?
Yeah. If you had have just...
None.
Yeah,
Name
none.
one person that would sign or fight for a Zuffa belt now.
No one. You know why? Because Jai Opetaia has become the poster boy of a cautionary tale.
It's true. Yeah. He's become the poster boy of what not to do with a career that could have been number one.
Yeah.
Still can be, but who knows?
Yeah. So anyway, look, we hope for the best.
Yeah.
But anything else that you want to talk about?
We hope for the best, expect the worst. Oh, look, we only got 5 minutes to go. It took a lot to talk about this. I don't really want to talk about the Manly loss much.
No. And all I'll say is, look, I didn't mind it. It's a decent kick up the arse. We showed heart coming back from 18-4 at half time. We only lose 28-22. You're going to have a few losses during the year.
Yeah.
I think it kind of keeps us sharp. No Cooler, no Olakawatu. Look, Sharks had their woes. They didn't have Hines. You win some, you lose some. And look, it's still a very wide open competition apart from that game.
Yeah.
Other results were Knights 28, Eels 22. The Storm actually had a win over the Roosters 18-4.
Hey.
So that's somewhat of a shock.
Big news. Biggest win of the year, actually.
Absolutely. And look, it goes to show you that certain teams have bogey sides. The Storm have been a bogey side for the Roosters for a long time, and particularly down there. And sometimes it doesn't matter what end of the table you're on. Sometimes certain teams just know how to play you or have that psychological edge. Yeah. The other one was the Tigers get back in the winners list with a 22-16 win over the Bulldogs. Yeah. What the hell has happened in Kebab Land? I mean, honestly, those souped up Hondas and Hyundais, they're not even turning the engine over these days in the car park. They're not even attempting a quarter of a donut there. Yeah. There's just nothing doing in Canterbury, Bankstown or Lakemba because the Bulldogs are having a dog of a season.
Yeah.
And, mate, the master tinkerer, Phil Gould, what have you done?
Yeah, what have you done? Okay. Yeah.
But, leading halfway through last year, and I don't know where they're at, but they're definitely in bloody double figures. I think they're like 13th or 14th or somewhere down there. They're a bloody long way off.
Dogs are useless. The dogs are absolutely useless. But that's okay.
Good. Yeah, but that's okay. Yeah. But no, apart from that, look, great week.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next two Origins can stir just as much of intrigue.
Yeah. Hey,
We'll see
I
if it's a
watched
decider.
Collingwood lost. Did you see Collingwood lost against Richmond? That was full on. That like it was
What was that last week?
like at the end of it, you could see Manly coming back and win. You could see Collingwood
Yeah.
coming back and win. Like
Yeah.
they within 3 points, and it
Hang
just
on.
yeah.
Sydney played Richmond this weekend.
Sorry, that's the one I went to. I
Yeah.
took JJ. I saw Sydney play Richmond. Collingwood. Who did Collingwood lose to? Um, uh,
Whoever they lost to, they got run down.
yeah, no, they didn't.
Lucky it's in the dying minutes where no one
Yeah.
absolutely gives a shit.
Yeah, no, no, no.
But yeah.
But I saw, I went to the Sydney game and they just
Yeah.
spanked him, Sydney. It was good. It was good to take the 7-year-old. We ate popcorn. We had an ice cream. We sat around. Tell you what I noticed about the Sydney Swans spectators. It's full of hot chicks, hotties
Oh yeah,
everywhere,
mate. Since
everywhere.
when haven't hot chicks worn red?
Yeah,
Traditionally,
yeah.
hot chicks wear red.
I really think that out of all sports, out of all codes, out of all teams, the best looking girls are Sydney Swan supporters.
Oh, 100%. You know
Really?
why?
You really agree with that? It was like an epiphany yesterday
Yeah.
at the SCG. It's like everywhere you look, there was hot chicks. Serious, it's amazing.
Yeah, I've got my own kind of take on that.
Yeah,
Like, whilst Australia-wide,
yeah,
I wouldn't consider AFL to be a snobby sport. It's a
no,
good blue-collar sport.
yeah, yeah,
In
yeah,
Sydney, in
yeah,
Sydney, ironically, it's more of a white-collar sport because
definitely.
the
Yeah,
NRL is a
yeah, yeah,
blue-collar sport.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think a lot of hot chicks who've grown up in some rich households
yeah,
that have
yeah,
used daddy's credit card
yeah,
on more occasions
yeah.
than you'd care to remember
The type
have
of
sort of
girls,
sunk into the white collar Swans brigade.
yeah,
They like going to the Swans.
they're going to the
Yeah.
Swans, and they're dolled up, like they're
Yeah.
looking hot, their clothes, but also they're wearing their gold and their hair and their,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
it's
then they go from like teen hotties to 20s hotties to 30s hotties to
they're all hot.
middle-aged hotties.
Yeah,
And it's the flow-on effect of
yeah,
the Swans women supporters. Shout that out to all you women.
yeah,
Like, we also love you for your brain, not just for your looks. I know I'm
yeah.
sort of backtracking here. I can hear the reverse lights going on. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. And
But what are you gonna do?
what's the opposite? Where are all the non-hotties